What's going on, everybody? We're live right now at the T-Mobile. I'm here with Lyndon. How's it going, Lyndon?
Good, mate. A little bit disappointed, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I felt like Tim was in control early. It kind of felt like the fight I thought it was going to be. And then the cut happened just out of nowhere. And I noticed that when he was sitting in the corner and he's just bloody. I'm wondering what happened. They're showing the replay. What was your reaction when you saw that? What were you thinking?
Well, initially, probably like the referee, I thought it was a headbutt because he did call a headbutt, but obviously the replay showed it was the accidental elbow right at the end of that second round. And
right.
I don't think really Tim knew what was happening because you could see he went for his head and just the blood was gushing out after that. And look, to his credit as well, Fundora copped those two big right hands as well and obviously had the broken nose. So both guys had to weather a lot through the fight, and credit to both guys. And, you know, as an Australian, I'm obviously very disappointed, but congratulations to Fundora. He fought a great fight.
Look, when I saw the cut and I'm watching it, I honestly doubted they were going to let the fight continue. I thought the doctor was going to step in at some point. He's losing a lot of blood. I'm kind of surprised he still kept his balance after losing all that blood. And Fundora is bleeding through the nose as well. His face, one side of his face looked like it was getting a little disfigured even. He was able to take a lot of Tim's big punches. Do you think this would have been a much different fight if it wasn't for the cut?
Well, I suppose we'll never know, will we? But, I mean, Tim looked pretty good for the first two rounds. But, look, the thing is, it wasn't just – I mean, the blood in his eyes would have been just – I mean, to fight 10 rounds with blood gushing in your eyes would have been really uncomfortable. But not just that, it would have been sticky. It would have been in his mouth. Not only his blood, but Fundora's blood. They swapped a lot of blood over 12 rounds. And the fact that both of them fought 10 rounds completely covered in blood, as I said, is a credit to both guys.
I actually tweeted out, these guys are savages, right? Like when I was watching them fight. And it's unfortunate for Tim that he lost. And right now, it feels, and I told you this before we went live, or recording it. But anyway, I said, this might be a good thing in the long run. Like, I think a lot of fight fans are going to see this and be like, okay, I could get down with this guy. Like, he's a fighter. He didn't quit. If you paid a ticket, you got your money's worth because he didn't pull out. He could have easily just said, hey, I can't see. Get me out of the fight. But he continued to fight. I think in the long run, I actually think there might be a silver lining to this.
Well, try telling that to Tszyu at the moment,
Right.
I suppose. But, look, everything happens. Well, I won't say it happens for a reason, but there's always something that can come out of it. And, you know, as this show, this event showed, that Fundora was fighting in a prelim and an interim world title fight, and all of a sudden he's fighting main event for 2 world titles. So who knows what can happen. Looks like Errol Spence is looking for Fundora. I don't know where Crawford falls into the scheme of things, but there is a rematch clause in this. So I would dare say we'll see Tszyu Fundora 2. I wouldn't put it down to being in Australia just yet. I think Tim would want to do it back here in the States, but that's the fight I think will happen next.
Look, I was actually sitting next to Liam Wilson. Great guy. What do you think is next for Liam? Like, where do you think he goes from here?
Well, it's an interesting one with Liam. Look, he's only 28. The two bad losses he's had, of course, Valdez and Navarrete, no disgrace in that. But I think his main thing he has to get under control is the fact that he can tend to go away from the game plan and struggles to get back to the game plan if things don't really go his way. And I know that's, and you do too, that's something that they'll be working on for Liam going forward. But it's certainly not the end of Liam Wilson. He's an entertaining fighter. He always comes to fight. He's given both those guys tough fights. And I think, as I said, he's crowd friendly. So I think he'll be back. But I just think he needs to go back to the drawing board, work on a few things, and try and get those right before he jumps back in at this level.
For sure. You know, what's weird is that what he probably needs to work on is probably why a lot of fans like to watch him fight, because he comes to fight. But maybe he could find a balance where he could still be an exciting fighter, but maybe not get too careless in there. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what he needs to find. Just 2 more things. It's cold out here.
It is cold.
But, and I got a jacket. So, Isaac Cruz, he just beat down. It was like Raleigh wasn't in his league is what I saw.
Yeah, I agree. It was a complete shutout for me. I thought, is it Isaac or Isaac? I'll say Isaac. That's how we pronounce it. But, Look, he was on a mission. That was very obvious right from the word go. He came out. Would have liked to have seen a few more jabs from Isaac, but in the end he didn't really need to. Rolly Romero really struggled to to cope with those power shots, and he was blown out of there in, what was it, 7 or 8 rounds. So congratulations to Cruz. He fought a great fight. I
honestly saw a systematic beatdown, and I'm glad the ref called him out for the holding. A lot of refs don't do that. You got to start doing that more. We don't want to see that. But once he was taking a point away, I knew it was just a matter of time. And the one thing is like this, to me, like the sanctioning bodies are broken, because a guy like Raleigh should never have been a world champion.
Exactly.
And I feel for guys like, I think of Juan Lascano, I think of Rocky Juarez, I think of Michael Katsidis, much better fighters who had to fight like Hall of Fame level fighters and were not able to become world champion. We have guys like Raleigh who were handed a belt from a vacant belt in a fight he wasn't even winning.
Well, it just seems to be the state of play these days, doesn't it? I mean, even look at this card. You had the WBC full title being fought for as the main event. You had the interim title on the undercard on the same night, same event. It just doesn't make sense to me. Interim titles, I don't think, were initially brought out for this reason. But to have that on the same card on the same night is bizarre. But these days, what the sanctioning bodies do, who knows? It's a bit of a lottery at the moment, isn't it?
And the last thing, I mean, I was watching this Rafa fight in round 1. I literally said to myself, he's too slow. The speed difference, it was just huge. And I think that was like, Lara was able to just see everything coming, and I think that's ultimately what sealed his fate.
Yeah, look, it was an interesting one. Was he overawed, or was he just not up to it? We don't really know. But at the end of the day, I did say in the first round, he's getting countered pretty hard here with that right hook and the straight left. And he didn't really have any penetration on his punches. He was sort of poking his punches. He was clinching a little bit. There wasn't really anything for Lara to be worried about. And you see what happened in the end. Lara got in position and, like a good fighter, timed it perfectly, and boom, boom, good night.
And boom, boom, and that was it. And we're out of here, guys. Lyndon, check him out at the Boxing Deep Dive here on YouTube. Peace out. Guys.